Right, so let's continue on. Our next term, I don't have the term written at the top, but this is opposite rays. Right, so in the box for opposite rays on your notes are, we suppose we have point C is between points A and B. We now have opposite rays. Right, so for your definition, you're going to need to write the 4 points, the 4 important facts about opposite rays. Right? So number 1, opposite rays are 2 rays with a common endpoint. Right? So on your definition, write for number 1, 2 rays with a common endpoint. And you can just write what I've underlined. Number 2, they point in opposite directions. Right? You can have 2 rays with a common endpoint, but if they don't point in opposite directions, they're not opposite rays. Number 3, they form a straight line. And finally, opposite rays do not overlap. Right? So you can write the underlined parts for your 4 parts of this definition. 2 rays with a common endpoint. Number 2, point in opposite directions. Number 3, form a straight line. And number 4, do not overlap. They have to have all 4 of those things to be opposite rays. Anything is missing, you're not an opposite ray. Right? So for your diagram here, we have 2 opposite rays. Right? So you're going to draw a line with points A, C, and B. This point right here, actually I'm going to put it in green so you can see it. It'll be different than the 2 line segments, the 2 parts of the line there. All right, so that point there, that's the end point for both of our opposite rays. Right? So we have, that's what makes them opposite. They have the same end point. It meets that part. So here we have ray CA and ray CB are opposite rays. Right? So for your diagram, right, you can include that. For the naming, include that ray CA and ray CB are opposite rays here. So notice that that diagram, that meets all 4 criteria. Common endpoint, right? The common endpoint is point C. They're pointing in opposite directions. Ray CA and ray CB are going in opposite directions. Together they're forming a straight line, right? They're forming that line there. And they do not overlap. All right? So that would be opposite rays because they meet all 4 criteria. All right, so let's answer a question together. Name 2 opposite rays on the given line. All right, so the line we're looking at is MR. All right, so got to have a common endpoint. My common endpoint is going to be right here at point P. I have this ray, PM, and then I have, I'm going to use a different color. This ray right here, PR. Right, those are opposite rays. They share an endpoint, point P. They go in opposite directions. They form a line. They're forming line MR, and they do not overlap. Right, let's look at the next pair. So on line SQ, I'm going to need to start right here. We've got this ray right here, QN. And we have this ray right here, QS. Right? Notice that the endpoint goes first, always. Right? So same endpoint, they both intersect at Q. They go in opposite directions. Together they form line SQ, and they do not overlap. So those are opposite rays. PS, right? So I'm going to need to, actually, I'm going to use a different color. So there we go. Try to use different colors all the way through here. All right, I'm going to have to start at P and go in the direction of S. So we've got ray PS. And then I'm going to start at P. How about purple? will start at P and go in the direction of O. Right? And ray PO. So ray PS and ray PO are opposite rays. They have the same endpoint, P. They go in opposite directions. Together they form line PS and they don't overlap. And let's do the last two. Orange, I guess. All right, so line OM. I'm going to need to start at M, and I'll go in the direction of O. So colorful, my picture here. All right, so we have ray MO. Right, and then the last ray, how about pink? I wonder if you can see it. Oh, probably not. Oh, let's see. Where was I? Oh, here it is. Oh, kinda. All right, so we start at M, but not so easy on the writing. I think you can see the ray, but I don't think you can see the writing. So, and MN. Same endpoint, they start at point M. They go in opposite directions. Together they form line OM, and they do not overlap. All right, so there we've done some problems together. I'll have some problems for you to solve coming up. Thanks for watching the podcast. Bye for now.